Hey, hey, hey. This is Van here. Hope you guys can hear me. Yeah, all the way up. So we made it's a Massey Ferguson. I guess I should have put GC 1723, but they're kind of known as a 1723E. I believe the E stands for economy or economical or something like that. And that uh, term there for the E. There is a M as in Mary model. I talked to the sales guy over at Massey Ferguson, and he kind of clued me in that it's basically the same exact motor. They turn it up a little bit just so it puts out like one more horsepower. So, I think it was about $2,000 more for the M series, and you get a cigarette lighter down inside this little storage thing here. Something went wrong. All right, are we live again? I think I lost you guys there a second. All right, there we go. Hopefully we're live again. I don't know where we cut out, but I'll just start over again. Keep my eye on the timer. We see two people in the chat, or at least watching. I don't see anyone in the chat yet, but it is bright and sunny out here today. Actually, it's almost 100 degrees here in northern Nevada, and we have a projected temperature of 106 today. Yeah, so it is getting hot, even up here in the high desert. So let's go back over this real quick. I don't know where I cut out, but seems to be staying connected so far. I picked up this Massey Ferguson. It's a little miniature backhoe tractor. So just wanted to share this with you guys and do a little bit of a review on it. I've used it for a couple weeks now. It's the 1723E as in Edward model, and there is a M as in Mary, where I was going just a few seconds ago before we got cut out. So the M as in Mary, to my understanding, it's like one or two more horsepower according to the salesperson, and it was like $2,000 more. It was an elderly man that sold it to me over at the dealership, so really hard to understand, but basically what I got out of it, it was going to be a couple $1,000s more, I'm sure, definitely with tax, maybe even more, to get the M as in Mary model versus the E model. The M model is about one or two more horsepower. That's all it was, but it's the exact same motor. It's a diesel motor. So if you know anything about a diesel motor, you just give them fuel and you give them air, and it makes them run faster and more powerful. So from my experiences with diesel motors, I'm going to have to guess that they probably just turned the injection pump up a little bit more, so it gave it a little bit more fuel, so it gave it about one more horsepower. That's the moral to the story. So $2,000 more for basically essentially the same exact tractor, guys. So we went with the E model, same exact tractor, a couple $1,000s less. It does have this here on the M model. It's got some metal around the back tail lights, around the roll bar, if you will. I recently put this, here's the backhoe on the back. Let me back up, maybe you guys can get a little better view. I recently put this canopy top on there. You guys know how I am, always just building something out of nothing, save a buck, and well, that's how we can afford a brand new miniature tractor, because always looking to save a buck, right? So those tops are, about, I'd say around 500 or so. They're not cheap. I mean, you can get the, what I want to say, like an umbrella type of tent material. They sell those, I think, for around 200-300 bucks, but that definitely isn't going to work around here in the high deserts, where we have extremely high winds pretty much daily. So actually what this thing is, we just had a TV go out on us, so I got this thrown out in the junk pile. Need to make a dump run soon. But I don't even know where I got these things. At one point in time, I used this one obviously to do some painting on, but it's just a sheet metal pan basically, and I had two of them, so I just took that and painted it, and put a couple bolts up there with a L bracket, and voila, almost looks factory. So and it's metal. The ones that I looked at for about 500 bucks, they're plastic. And being out in the high desert with this, heat that we deal with, the sun is real brutal. So it probably wouldn't last but a couple years, and I'd need a new one. My first intentions, I'll say, was to put a cab on it. They sell a enclosed cab. I can't remember the name offhand, of course. When you're under the gun, you can't think. But this company, if you look them up online, they're out of Maine, and I priced it at about 5,500 bucks to put a enclosed cab on here. I don't believe they deal directly, so you have to do it through your dealer. So I went and talked to the dealership, and they said, oh, well, there's this cost, that cost, and shipping costs, and blah, blah, blah cost, and, everything's outrageous now, so who knows. But the moral to the story is we were talking about $15,000 to put an enclosed cab on this sucker. So I just went with this for now. In the near future, hopefully before winter, I'll come up with something else. If I have to fabricate it all and close it in myself, we'll see what happens. Finding Kino in the chat, I see you there. A little bright and sunny out here today, 100 degrees almost. Projected 106 degrees today. So pretty crazy temperatures out here in the high desert. I think it's a good looking rig. I like the red. It's real dirty now because I've been working the hell out of this thing, guys. But I wanted to do a review on it, what I think so far. I'm going to say it is more powerful than you think it would be. At the same time, it's not a full-size tractor. It's not a full-size backhoe. So for what it is, this thing really kicks ass, to put it plain and simple. It will dig, what is it? I think it's 6.5 feet with this backhoe. And that is the B2720, or BH, I'm sorry. Looking through the screen with the sun on it. And we picked it up at Ott's Farming Equipment. You guys want to call, get a price comparison or whatever. I paid out the door, guys. It was just a hair over $25,000, and that was including insurance. for, what was it, 72 months. And the huge thing was I ended up getting it for 0% interest. So to be honest, I didn't even shop around. I know Massey Ferguson has been around forever, and they build a fabulous product. So I ran with it. 0% interest. I've been hearing people at work complain that vehicles are going right now for 8-9% interest if you go buy a brand new vehicle right now. So 0% interest, it was a no-brainer. So this actually has the 3-point, about a normal farm tractor. There it sits in the back. And on this particular Massey Ferguson type, it actually folds up, which most of them do not, to my understanding. Like I say, I didn't do any research on others. So you guys could leave, some stuff like that in the comments if you have a similar model, and, conversate amongst yourselves. I like this one because it has the pins. I will say that is one feature that I like hugely. These pins here, you remove, you stick them back in this hole. They have their own keepers, which is really nice too. If you know anything about hydraulics, it's going to sag after it sits there for a while, even if it's brand new. So that pin holds it in the upright position. This here holds it in the side-to-side position. You pull that out, stick it over here. Your shocks here, basically, which would elevate you, not shocks, hydraulics. You pull these pins out here, you stick them here. So when you're going to operate it, this will come down and level you out, one on each side. So there's 4 pins, the 2 levelers, and then your hoe in the back to go up and down with the hoe. And this one here is the side to side, when you can swing it, from different angles. And the actual bucket holds itself up with gravity. So that's awesome too. It's just merely gravity, so that doesn't even need a pin. So I love the backhoe. I love the style. Really operates really well for, once again, a miniature backhoe. Have I operated other full-size backhoes that operate better? Of course I have, because they're bigger backhoes. But in a smaller size portable backhoe, this thing is 4 feet wide, guys. Slightly over 4 feet. I measured it one day. I think it was like 4 foot and 1 inch or something, the bucket itself. The backhoe would be slightly wider because it sticks out there beyond the tire. So you might need 5 feet to get it into the back of somebody's yard or something to use the backhoe. The 3-point, however, if you went with 4-foot attachments, you could put a Gannon box back here, a blade, an auger, if you wanted to drill holes for fence posts. Lots of things could be done with that 3-point, guys. It's just endless. They sell a snow blower for the front even. There's an auxiliary hookup that is an add-on option. So you could actually have an additional hydraulic control up here in the front for something like a snow blower. There's a log splitter. I mean, the options are endless, honestly. Whatever attachment you wanted to go with, there's pretty much something out there to fit the bill. Massey Ferguson also has double hydraulics on the front. I do know that Kubota, I think it's the BX25 series, whatever it is, 20, 24, 23, the little guy very similar to this style. Only has one hydraulic in the center. So I would imagine you probably have a little bit more lifting capacity there. This one is rated for, shooting from the hip here, guys, I know it's under 1,000 pounds, but you know, it's a miniature tractor. It was 900 something, I can't remember exactly, but you know, lifting almost 1,000 pounds, you can fill that thing to the hilt with dirt, no problem at all lifting that. You might have, you know, maybe 500 pounds. So lifts, you know, quite a bit of weight. The dash is real simple, pretty old style. Little digital odometer there to keep track of your mileage and such. We're scrolling up here. I'm underneath the canopy now. So let's see. Finding Keno. First Responder Garage. How's it going? Cindy D. It's been a minute. Yeah, I've been working a lot of hours, Cindy. 50 hours a week. I did actually work last Saturday, but we, you know, we're off for the 4th and all that stuff. So I just worked Saturday to make up some time. They want us to work every Saturday. We're slammed with work, but I give them 10 hours a day, 5 days a week. And, you know, when I'm home, I'm dealing with, you know, things with the tractor at the moment. I've had it for a few weeks. And just wanted to let you guys know what I think about it. So here we are. Took it up this morning and put fuel in it. I think I had a little over 13 hours, but it did have a little bit of time when I purchased it. So let's just say 13 hours of operation because they probably used a little bit of the fuel to do the break-in period. So 13 hours of use to a tank. I believe it was a 5.5 gallon tank of diesel. So, you know, 13 hours, 5.5 gallons of fuel, pretty economical. I did notice when I used the backhoe, it really burned up the fuel. It was just nursing it, just sipping it when I was using just the loader. So I'll take you guys around the back and show you the forest that I've been chopping down back there. As you guys can see, these weeds. I've got a 5-foot fence around the property, and the entire yard got flooded this year, guys. Show you guys. Right there's a 5-foot fence, guys. That weed is over 6 feet tall. The entire yard had 8 to 12 inches of water in it. So that's why I picked up this tractor mainly. As you guys can see, there's an entrance there, which is a front entrance actually that we never use. I use the side entrance into the shop, but that's the front entrance to the house there. And water was just pouring through there insanely fast. The street out there was a river. So I've been putting dirt there, building it up. I'm going to raise those hinges and elevate that gate there so it doesn't happen again. And with all that water, we got every seed there is known to man in northern Nevada. And, you know, it just became a weed garden. So the entire yard is just insanely filled with weeds like crazy. And working 50 hours a week. The wife can't keep up with it. She's at home, but can't expect her to keep up with this kind of acreage. And it, you know, like I say, it was just entirely covered with 12 inches of water in this entire yard in places. So had lots of water to grow, and went and got the tractor to take care of it. And it was like 2 weeks, guys, before we even got the tractor. You know, you think you go buy a brand new tractor and you come home with it. Not today. It was almost 2 weeks before we ended up getting the tractor, and it came home on a weekday. So even when I got it, I still wasn't able to use it because I was at work working 10-hour days at work. So life happens. I know you guys understand. Ronnie York, what's up, brother? I think that's the first time I've seen you into a live. Cindy D, Ronnie York. Yeah, you guys know each other. Craig's here. Craig's in the house. So it's a pretty nice little tractor, guys. I mean, it is what it is. It's 23 and a half horsepower through the grapevine, what have you. I've heard over 26 horsepower, I believe it is. Don't quote me on that. Do your own research, but over 26 horsepower on a diesel motor tractor. You have to have this DEF fluid stuff. So if you guys know anything about DEF fluid, it's nothing but trouble. It's the new world that we live in, smog crap, and there's this thing called a particulate trap, and that's required with the DEF fluid, and the particulate traps go bad, and when they go bad, you're looking at thousands of bucks out of your pocket. So this one's under that 26 horsepower area, so it's, plain Jane, old school diesel, run forever, no issues, which is what I wanted. Massey makes an outstanding tractor. I agree, Craig. I did research it after I purchased it. I got a neighbor 2-3 streets over, and he actually owns the same exact tractor. He bought it probably about 5 years ago. Speaks nothing but, great about it constantly. Praises it. He actually had another older Massey before that one. That one worked out great as well. This is my third tractor on this property. I had an old Oliver. Ronnie probably remembers the Oliver tractors. They actually, I think they made attachments for tractors, if I remember correctly. And I think the Ford 8N, I think it was, the old school Ford tractors got into, I think it was some kind of lawsuit or something, and it kind of put Oliver in a crunch, in a bind, because they were making the attachments for Ford, and then they just came out with their own tractor and kind of outdid the 8N. It was a badass little tractor, a lot bigger than this one. I say little, it wasn't full size, but old school American steel, probably weighed 3-4 times what this damn thing weighs. But it was a great tractor. And then I moved on to a Kubota, probably slightly bigger than this one as well. Really probably should have held on to that Kubota. I really liked that one. But, telling the truth, went through some financial, issues like everyone does, ups and downs, and just needed the money. So ended up selling that for, I think it was $5,000, and just scooped up some money with the tractor that I had laying around. So it'd been years, and when you sell a backhoe tractor, which is what the Kubota was, the Oliver was just a tractor with a bucket. But that Kubota, I really missed it because it had the backhoe and everything like this one. So I'd been sniffing around for years, wanting another one. So the flood in the yard really scared the hell out of me. I was probably about 2 inches from it coming through the threshold in the back door, from it coming into the house. And if it wasn't for this guy right here, it would have came in the house. I had this snowplow on the front, and that's really honestly what saved the house. So this thing dumps. It's pretty cool too. It's called a Kawasaki Mule. bought this brand new for the wife, actually. I think it was back in 2015, if I remember right. Been a great little rig too, and it's got a dump bed on it. We actually loaded it up this week. She was cleaning out the flower bed and needed me to scoop a bunch of dirt out of there, so loaded it into the back of the mule and took it out and dumped it in the garden today. Let's see here. Craig, you always have a great show. Cindy D just saying hi. You too. Talking to Ronnie. Awesome. Just making sure you guys weren't saying anything to me, asking any questions or such. But yeah, it's a great tractor, guys. Let me think. Maybe we can go over the controls. Those of you that are looking to buy one may be interested in how things work. Here's your neutral. This is to the right when you're setting in the seat. So you got your rabbit speed and you got your turtle speed. Down here you have your forward and reverse. It's that simple. There's no clutch, there's no nothing. If you don't know how to operate a clutch, you can drive this tractor. It's super awesome. Right here is your throttle, just to keep the throttle at a higher RPM. But right there, just works like a car. You can push it down farther and farther. If you move this up farther, then it just stays at a high idle. And the reason you do that is when you're operating things with the PTO in the back or the backhoe, you need to bring the idle up and keep it up. So the hydraulics, operate correctly. So you need a higher idle. So that's why that is there. This actually has a bottom PTO too. PTO stands for power takeoff. So it's for implements. You can have a bush hog, which is a lawnmower that you pull behind the tractor. So it has a shaft that turns the drive line that goes back and turns the blades basically inside the bush hog. And you can actually put a what would you call it? A mower deck is what you would call it underneath, just like a riding lawnmower, guys. So it has a PTO underneath as well. So this would operate the belt basically that would engage the belt down below on the belly. This here engages your four-wheel drive. That there gives you your differential lock, which will make both tires engage in the rear. So, like your normal average car, only one wheel is actually giving you the power to go down the street. So, if you think of like a four-wheel drive today, it's not really for four-wheel drive because, you go around turns, things need to turn less and more. So old school straight axles, were more like that. Not to get in depth with things, but long story short, that engages the other tire in the rear. This engages all four. So, or actually the front two, and then that would engage the other rear tire in the back. So it's called a differential lock. Let's go around the other side. Over here are your PTO controls. This guy here would be for the bottom, setting your RPMs at 540 RPMs. That's what the 540 is for. So you would bring that down to here. This one here would be for the rear, and you'd set that at 2000 RPMs. This engages it basically. So you can move this handle forward, lock it where it's set, and then this would engage it basically on and off. So kind of a twofer there. I believe you can run both at the same time. I believe that's why this handle exists. So you can engage this one or both and turn them both on and off at the same time, or vice versa. This guy, what does this guy do? This one lowers the mower deck. So if you want to cut your grass lower or higher. This guy is for the PTO in the back, or actually the 3-point, I should say, the 3-point in the back that picks up your attachment when the backhoe isn't back here. Your attachment would be hooked to this 3-point back here, and that raises and lowers. So if you needed that to come down faster or slower so it doesn't slam when it hits the ground, that's what that one does. The seat is reversible. You pull that lever there, flip it forward and spin it around, and then you can set the other direction to operate the backhoe here in the back. So I guess we could do backhoe operation too if you guys are curious about that. As far as the levers, the two centers are going to be your leveling, this guy here and that guy there. So if you're on a hill kind of sideways, you can put one down a little farther than the other, so it'll get you up and level. This lever here on the right, I'm trying to look through the camera here. Oh yeah, there we go. The lever on the right there, that is going to be your bucket itself. When you want to scoop, you would go that direction to kind of scoop it up. See if I can make my hand. Want to scoop it up, you'd push it that way, push it back this way, the opposite direction when you want to drop the load. Pushing it that direction would actually extend the whole hoe out, and this direction brings it in. And the other lever on the other side takes it from left to right and also brings it in and out, because there's two different rams on here, guys. So one drops it, so that's going to actually take it out farther, and this ram here, one here and one here. So two different hydraulics are going to extend it out farther. And then this ram here, of course, is for the bucket itself. So pretty simple stuff for, somebody who knows, but it's just, trial and error and getting used to it. It's great to have somebody kind of walk you through it. And I plan on showing the wife all this stuff, but it's just been too hot and miserable lately. But she's interested in it, which is great. I don't want her to get hurt on it, of course, but interest is awesome. She wants to learn, and it'll be cool for her to do that, because stuff like that really just fascinates her. She likes excavation, watching those guys just move mountains. It just fascinates her. So I think she's really going to dig it. I guess we could pop the hood, which they have changed on the newer model. Say my neighbor down the way, the hood latch is up here on the top, and this is metal too, guys. You hear that? Not plastic. Most of the tractors you're going to buy in this category are going to have a plastic hood. So need to blow this puppy out. Should have probably took it down to the car wash, blew it off, and made it all pretty for you guys. But yeah, it's brand new. Wanted to show you. I've been working the hell out of it, so that's why it's dusty and dirty. And I don't know if I can keep Wi-Fi up. I'll take you around to the garden area, which was full of weeds, 5-6 feet tall as well. That's all there is to closing it. Tilt steering. It does have tilt steering. This would be your emergency brake. You just push the pedal down here, your brake's over here on the left, and you flip that lever, and then that just locks the brake where you have it. Your tilt wheel adjustment here. These are your lights. Blinker being here, up and down. This one operates your headlights on and off, and these are your flashers. The rabbit and bunny, that's just for your throttle that we mentioned earlier. This here is actually a cruise control, guys. You're not going to find that on a miniature tractor like this. This is, got a lot of the features that the bigger tractors have. So Massey Ferguson is on their game. They truly are. Your glow plugs here, you'll turn the key on first, turn it here. It's a spring action, so you can see the glow plugs lighting up in the dash. Hold it 5-10 seconds depending on how cold it is, and go ahead and engage the starter to get it going. Not a true grill guard in the front, but there's something there. Some of them have a little bit more elaborate grill guard, but there's something there. If you're going to bounce off of something, at least there's a piece of steel up there. Excuse me. Loader, guess we could go over that too. Pretty simple, Simon. This direction would be to raise the loader. That's to lower the loader. This is to scoop up the bucket. We'll do it by hand motion. Would be this direction, and this would be to dump the bucket. So pretty simple 4-pattern joystick there. Float actually is on this one as well. You can see it there, and if you push, there it goes. Now it's in a float, which means basically it just allows all of the hydraulics to relax, and there's no pressure on the loader right now. So that's how you get a, like a level playing field, so to speak. So the hydraulics, there's, it wouldn't be digging in up here or anything. It would just be in a relaxed state where gravity is working for you, so you could smooth things out and make it level. So that's another feature that you won't see on too many miniature tractors. So Massey Ferguson has, they got it going on. They truly do. When you got cruise control and float options. Oh, and actually on the Backhoe has the float option too, where you can float it to backfill. So they truly are on their game once again. Let's see here. Van is too much in love with his to use it. No, I've been using the hell out of it, Ronnie. You weren't here in the beginning. I didn't show you the weeds. We got the whole entire yard had 8 to 12 inches of water, man. It was insanity. So this is a 5-foot chain link fence. Look at that. Is that crazy or not? It's like 6-foot tall weeds in places in the entire yard. So I've been mowing all this crap down. When you got 12 inches of water in your entire yard, it just washed in every weed seed there was in the entire state, and with lots of moisture for everything to grow. And living here all these years, I mean, it was like this in the beginning, but we kind of got some control of it. But when it just got washed out, it became a river. We just got every weed seed in all of northern Nevada. So it just went out of control again. And like I said, when I bought this thing, it took them 2 weeks to even get it to me. So it was 2 more weeks for the weeds to grow. I'm like, well, I came back from vacation and I went and bought a new tractor. And then it took them two more weeks to even deliver it to me. So it is what it is, but I know Ronnie's just funning with me anyway. We always fun with each other. So I've got this car trailer, so that'll be nice if I need to take it somewhere. So that can fit right on this very easily. The truck will pull it. It's a Tacoma. I've been pondering for years to get rid of this thing. I don't drive it, hence why the hood's up on it as we speak, because I went to start it today to move this and the trailer so I could get rid of these weeds, and the damn thing wouldn't even start because I haven't started it in 6 months. So the battery's on charge as we speak, so I can get this moved and get those weeds mowed down. I don't know if my Wi-Fi will make it out back to where I normally have my garden, but I guess we can try. I can't see nothing now. Yep, you guys are still with me, I think. We'll see how this works out. If I lose you guys, we'll catch you on the flip side. But just wanted to show you what I've been working on. I doubt we're going to make it out here. Maybe we won't have audio. You guys can see what I've cleared. This is what it looked like to begin with. 5-6 feet tall weeds. It was like a forest back there. I got to go back up here to the canopy of the tractor so I can even see the screen. It's 100 degrees here today, guys. Did we lose you? Nope, it's still ticking. I guess we still got you. No, it's not a dovetail. I actually thought about doing that at some point, but I never have any time to do any damn thing. But it would be real simple to do with a welder, and I even have the steel and the welder to even do it, but just don't have the time. But yeah, I've thought about doing that just to add a little bit more length, and it would also, be easier to pull up cars and stuff on the trailer. It's what is it? I think it's 17.5 feet trailer. Some reason 17.5 sticks in my head. I want to say that's the actual deck. That could be from the ball, but I can't remember. But I've had my buddy had a F-150 I went and picked up one time. So full-size truck, and I think it was a king cab as well. So had an F-150 king cab on it at one point in time. That's the largest vehicle I've hauled on it. I guess it's not really technically a car trailer. I guess you would call it a utility trailer. But it's got two 3,500-pound axles on it, so rated for 7,000 pounds. A full-size truck is 4, maybe 5,000 pounds. If it's not a diesel or something crazy. Yeah, dovetail makes it easier to load for sure. I welded up some ramps that are really stout. I did those myself with angle iron, and actually kind of put them together and tacked them, and whoever came over allowed them to just practice welding on them. But these here, real easy, just all angle iron. I think this one piece here would be a flat piece, but just cut there, angle iron back, angle iron, all laid in between. So real simple procedure to make, and they're probably 3 feet long, so I haven't had any problems loading anything on it because they're pretty long and pretty stout. Not real light. It would be nice to cut a foot off of them, and you could do that if you had a dovetail like what you're saying. Yeah, they work. They've served their purpose. I pulled up that Oliver tractor on there, and I know that sucker weighed over 5,000 pounds. I was definitely maxed on the weight for the trailer because the trailer's probably, I don't know, maybe 1,500 pounds. I'd say with the axles and the the lumber, the steel, blah blah blah. So the trailer probably weighs about 1,500 pounds, and that tractor I know was over 5,000. So that put me right in the 7,000 pound area with that Oliver. It was a monster. That thing was old American steel. So those ramps have been a lifesaver more than once. Well, I think we're going to wrap it up, guys. I just wanted to share with you guys my new toy I picked up a few weeks back. Uh, Hope you guys are keeping cool where you are. We're projected 106 degrees here today. It's just going to be insanely hot. So, you guys try to stay cool out there. I'll try to get you guys a video up when I can. But just working long hours at home and at work. I work 10-hour days, 50 hours a week. You drive time, lunch break, blah blah blah. You know the story. The day's gone by the time you get home, and you leave before the sun comes up. So it's nothing that most Americans haven't done all their lives. So definitely us blue collar people for sure. So by the time I get home, and especially in this heat now, it's supposed to be over 100 here all week long. Thank God we're changing our work schedule at work. We're going to start at 6 a.m. starting Monday. So that's definitely going to help to get in there a little bit earlier while it's cooler. But, it is what it is. We all got to pay the bills. And now I got a payment on a tractor. So, but I needed this puppy. Like I said, I've been eyeballing them for years, and why buy somebody else's junk when Massey Ferguson made me a hell of a deal with 0% interest for 72 months. So payment worked out under 350. I think it was like 340, 343, just say 345. I want to say less than 345 a month, including insurance for 72 months and 0% interest. So, could I have done better? Probably so, as far as cost. But as far as cost for quality, I'm not so sure there's anything out there any better. This is something that I can go down to the dealership and get parts for. There's a local place, a person that speaks English, and people that know these tractors inside and out. And also it came with a 5-year warranty for the powertrain, so the motor, transmission, it's all covered under warranty for 5 years. The backhoe was 1 year, the loader is 1 year, and the rest of the tractor bumper to bumper warranty is 2 years. So all that stuff comes from Massey Ferguson. So 5-year powertrain warranty, 2 years on the tractor, 1 year each on the attachments, the loader, bucket, and the backhoe. Hey, Bigfoot, thanks for stopping by, brother. Yeah, I popped in on you earlier this morning. So, yeah, I don't make too many videos, not as frequent as I'd like, but just wanted to throw up a video on this new Massey Ferguson that I picked up a few weeks ago. So you're just getting here, you might want to rewind. Just gonna go over the features and what it costs and what my payments are, and what I thought about it. And moral to the story is, for what it is, I think it's a kick-ass tractor. It's not a full-size backhoe, but for what it is, it kicks ass. And it's got the 3-point on the back. Also, I forgot to mention the backhoe comes off really easily. You know, you just disconnect these quick connects here, just like an air hose. The feet drop down like here. Those are feet on the hoe. So you just drop that stuff down, disconnect your hoses, and back away. Pull, little quick pins like this here. So everything can be disconnected off of it. If you had a mower deck, you can attach that underneath and just use it as a riding lawnmower. If you just wanted to get the other stuff out of the way, or if you take the backhoe off the back, you can hook up, whatever 3-point attachment you can imagine. There's, probably 100 of them available, from chopping wood, a log splitter, or an auger for drilling holes, or just a blade to, grade a gravel road or what have you, on and on and on. So, and all that stuff just folds up in the back, and I believe Massey Ferguson is the only one that is available on as well. So I think all the rest you have to pull these arms off and all that stuff to be able to put a backhoe on there. So something else to keep in mind and check on if you're shopping for tractors. So I just wanted to share this with you guys, and I guess we'll end it there. You guys keep cool out there. That thing is super. Yeah, just reading the comments here. I don't know about respect, brother. Just hard work. That's all it is. Get out there and grind. I'm just a blue-collar working man. Not like I went out and paid cash for this thing. I got 72 months to pay for it. So, but Massey Ferguson gave me 0% interest. So, of course, you got to have good credit, but that's just hard work as well. So keep the bills paid, keep the roof over your head, and keep your head down, and smile and nod, and take another check to the bank. That's what I tell them at work, because they truly do some retarded stuff hourly. So you just smile and nod and take another check to the bank. Whatever pays the bills. All right, guys. Well, good talking to all of you, and we'll catch you on the flip side. This is Van with the Van Life Biker Show. We'll catch you on the next one. Appreciate you guys watching. See you on the next one. Stay cool out there. It's getting hot. 106 here today. 100 degrees all week. It's going to be a hot one. Later.